Words are hard. Are you having trouble putting your words to music? It's too difficult. Well, I'm here to help.
Hello, I'm Dominick with Dominick Sucks at Songwriting, and today I want to go over a few things that have helped me get over the stumbling block of starting to write lyrics. This is something that I've really struggled with. I've been playing guitar for a very long time, and so I don't really have a problem coming up with music, but coming up with lyrics that make sense and aren't stupid, quite frankly, is something I've struggled with a lot. These tips have helped me, and hopefully they will help you. So let's check out number one. So our first tip is something that lots of artists use. Musicians, filmmakers, visual artists, all people of all walks of life use this technique, and that technique is just straight journaling. Every day, just writing some thoughts down. It doesn't have to be 10 pages. It could be a few sentences, a paragraph to a page, whatever. Just what went right, what went wrong, what are your thoughts about it? Get into the habit of journaling. Then later you can go back over them, try to pick out words and phrases that might inspire lyrics, that maybe even be lyrics themselves. So that's a really good way to not have to sit down to a blank page and go, okay, what am I going to say? You've already got pages and pages of things to say. And if you've been keeping a journal already, well, lucky you, you've got pages and pages of things to say. Tip number 2 is just mind dumping. And what this is to, with no filter, no expectation that anybody's going to look at it or read it other than you, just get it all out there. No filter. There's nothing too stupid or silly to put down on the page. Just put it down. Then you can go back over it later and edit it. Just don't worry about what's usable and what's not usable. Take everything that comes to you and just put it down on the page. And you'll be surprised probably what comes out. I think with this tip, it's helpful to do this for a set amount of time. So say 5 to 10 minutes, because what's going to happen is when you first start the mind dumping process, you're going to be blocked. You're going to start writing and you're going to go, oh, I don't like this, or this, how am I going to use this? And you've got to get past that sticking point. You've got to get to a point where you're sort of in flow and you're just writing what comes to mind and just put it all down there. And by doing that, just like with the journaling, you'll be able to go back over that later, edit out what's usable, throw away what's not, and hopefully be inspired by a song lyric or a phrase or what have you. That is also a good way to get started because it gets you past that blank page, which is really like the main sticking point of writing lyrics if you're not a professional and you don't do this every single day yet. It's that expectation that the first word you have to put down has to be perfect or nothing else you're going to do is going to be usable. And that's just not true. You have to get something out in order to edit it down to be usable. Tip number 3 is something I picked up from a book called Popular Lyric Writing. It's written by Andrea Stolpe. It's on Berkeley Press. I just got this one from the library, but I'm sure you could find it on Amazon. And what this tip is called destination writing. So destination writing is a little bit like journaling and mind dumping, except for that it's more specific. In destination writing, you're going to write about a specific place, a person, or a time, just something specific. And when you're writing about that thing, what you're going to do is use your senses, taste, smell, sight, sound, movement, and describe that specific thing as detailed and as adjective ridden as you can. And what that's going to do is give you a page or more of ideas and lyrical bits that you can fit together to make a song. And the book goes into this in a lot more detail, which is not going to be covered here. This is just getting you started with writing the lyrics. But that is a good way to kind of get more specific lyrical content than just journaling or mind dumping, because you have a focus that you're honed in on. This is a good technique that you can use to, if you have something specific in mind already, to write about it without worrying about getting a good lyric, but still having a focused writing session that can lead to specific lyrics about your topic or what you're trying to say. Alright, so tip number 4 is kind of in conjunction with mind dumping and destination writing, and that is a random word or phrase generator. So what you can do with this is, instead of having a topic, a place, or a thing in mind when you start writing, if you're stuck for what to write about, you can use a random generator to just kind of get the ball rolling and maybe inspire you for a specific phrase that you can then take to go do journaling or mind dumping or destination writing and jump off from there. So that's a good way to get started if you have nothing in mind but you still want a focused writing session. Go to a random word or phrase generator and then do a destination writing using your adjectives and your senses to write a very detailed kind of sense-driven page about that topic. If you're really lazy, you could also just use the random phrases to write a song. Cats make good pets, for they are clean and are not noisy. So our final tip also goes along with the mind dumping and the destination writing, and that's something I came across in my acting training, which is essential actions. And what essential actions are is when you're given a script for a scene and you've analyzed it and you know what it's about, you boil it down to what is the main action you're trying to achieve in this scene. It's a specific desired result of the things that you're saying or your point of view. So I have a list that I use for my acting classes, and they contain specific actions that you want to perform, like exposing a threat to friends or enlisting a loved one's aid. And what that does is it gives you a specific action that you want to accomplish with your lyrics so that you're not just rambling on and on about your cat. And so you can use that action to then go back and do mind dumping or destination writing with that specific action in mind and possibly get more focused lyrics that way as well. So some rules to keep in mind for the essential action are that it should be physically capable of being done, meaning it's not some abstract concept like pursuing the American dream. It's something very specific and actionable, like pleading for help. And that'll help you stay focused on what your action is. If it's general and abstract and vague, it's hard to actually do. So it's hard to come up with a point of view around it. So make sure it's specific. So these are just a few of the tips I've been using to get over that sticking point of that blank page and to just start getting stuff out there, because that's the most important thing. Getting content down, getting words and phrases down so that you can then go back over and edit and maybe inspire more lyrics and something to work around rather than just starting from nothing and expecting brilliance to come out. So that's it. I hope you got some value out of that. If you did, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. That really helps. And I will see you in the next one. Pretty sure the devil created sparkling red glitter. Really wanna go to work, but I'm too sick to drive today. A suit of armor provides good sun protection on hot days. Hang on, my kids are scratching at the bathtub and they're gonna be upset by the last